Well, hi there on this terrible weather day. See, even the puppets are all just gonna cuddle up tonight. It's been so terrible, except for Summer, of course, who's upside down. My little free spirit.
Yeah, hi, Fox Newbold here on this quite a weather day we're having. Let's see, between the severe thunderstorms, thunder, lightning, heavy rain, they issued a flood watch, which I think just expired. It's a little after 7 now. Flood watch. Around 2:30 this afternoon, the tornado siren sounded. So I've got my cell phone in here today. I'm wearing my cell phone, and I jump into my bedroom closet when the siren sounds. And this is just a day where you just gotta get cozy. So I'm wearing my Snuggie. So anyway, I got some stuff in the mail. I think I'm going back on a familiar route that has been neglected for too long, because I was born on the Inky Trail. I love pens and notebooks. I always have been just fascinated by them. I've got like a pen fetish or something. I mean, I was the kid in school with the tons of pencils and pens from, practically from the time I could write, really. I remember as a little girl, I think before school started, I don't know, I used to try to draw like cursive or something. So I remember, I don't know how old I was, lying on the floor with a pen and sort of just doing loops, like trying to make the grown-up writing, And this is before I knew how, so I must have been 6 or 7. I think they taught us cursive in 3rd grade. But yeah, I've always loved that stuff, and I had, my favorite class was art class, and I always had tons of, like I said, pens and pencils. But in school, I went to school, I'm class of 79 from high school, so that means I was in grammar school in the late 60s and all up. So, and we were only allowed to use certain types of pens. Roller balls had not been invented yet. Teachers would require us to use lined notebook paper for our homework, and usually, well, depending on what grade, it would have to be written in pencil, and there was a format. You're supposed to put your upper right hand corner, your first name, last name, what the subject was, and the date, I think, and also maybe we had to put the assignment too, like exercise 3 through 8 on page 54 or something. I can't remember. Maybe we didn't have to put the assignment in, but very specific. Usually for math class, we always had to have pencil. Now for other things, it was, you may use ballpoint pen, but no flares. They didn't like flare pens. But I had a 4-color pen. I loved my big 4-color pen, and I loved the green ballpoint pens, the stick ones. And used to get those really nice ones, but I swear the shade of green has changed over the years. It's too light. It's always too light now when you look for that in a ballpoint. Very disappointing. Like this pen here, a 4-color pen. Now this has the fashion colors, right? But the green on here is too light. It's not very usable unless you're drawing something. If you're like flower leaves, that's nice, but it's sort of useless, this light green. It's not a gel, obviously, so you can't write it on. Use it on dark paper. So, but I think it's cool. I'd never seen fashion color 4-color pen before. So I was like, ooh, I'm getting 2. And it's good old Bic. So I've got all the styles I know of, the fashion colors, the blue barrel and the orange barrel. And did you know that the blue barrel is medium point and the orange barrel is fine point? I didn't know that until recently. So usually I use a medium point on most stuff, but when I'm doing my checkbook, I need to really get squish stuff in. So because I have so much money, it's hard to write all those digits in one tiny little line. But I use the fine point for my checkbook. Gosh, that's so annoying, not being able to fit your whole balance in one line. So anyway, I got into pen pals. I think my first pen pal was my cousin when I was about 14 or so. My pen pal was my cousin was sick, and so she didn't work. And she was, she was grown. She was, I guess, in her 30s or so. But we would write to each other, and that was my mother's idea. And then I got into actual pen paling around 1980, and so I learned all about friendship books, and then I discovered rubber stamps, and I never did scrapbooking, but I liked a lot of their I'm just stuff. Getting back into it like this past month, so I'm just sort of restocking, going through things, figuring out what I want to do, how I want to do it. So there are going to be some new types of videos about fake planners. I had no idea that was a thing. But now I know what the heck a Fedori is, or Habanichi, and a lot of them are Japanese, or Malaysian, or Chinese maybe, and I didn't know Etsy shops had so much good stuff on them. I had a lot of still had most of my goodies. One of my favorite goodies for pen paling was, let me clear my lap here, was this is called a Schoolhouse lap desk. And I found the first one at Barnes & Noble. I used to live across the street from a huge shopping center, indoor shopping center. And so I would venture across the street far too often. And I'd go to Barnes & Noble, one of my favorite places, and they had something very, very similar to this. Actually, I think it was a little bit nicer than this one. It was a little more expensive than this one, but I had to part with it a few years later, and I was so disappointed, and I've been kind of hunting for one ever since, and I found this on Amazon about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. It is called a Schoolhouse lap desk. It's cushioned on the bottom, hinged on the top. Let's see. So it's got the pencil tray like you used to have in school on the real desks. It's got the hinged top like a real desk used to. And you sit this open, and you can get so much stuff in there. Like I said, I do pen paling, so I'm going to keep my FBs in here and pens, and I'm just so excited because I finally decided to dedicate my time to my real vocation, which is writing. So I have written 2 books so far. I wrote this one last February. I self-published it in July. Mindy Peppermint of Being a Plush Ethnicity. And it's all about the puppets and their friendships, and it interviewed, these are drawings of the puppets that I did. all different. So I did all the illustrations and just did this myself. So yeah, this is on Amazon.com. You can find it, Mindy Peppermint, A Being of Plush Ethnicity. And I can give you the link. Actually, I'll give you the link to my personal website, and that'll be easier. So anyway, I wrote that, and many years ago, I started working on this, and of course it sat on the shelf for a long time, and I finally got a friend to help me finish it, and then it sat for a few more years. So this was actually written around 1991, that's what I'm dating it at. So it was present day back in 1991. But you read it now and you can tell, whoa, they're talking about, the characters talk about, they have an emergency cellular telephone hardwired into their tour bus because it's about a rock band. You know, stuff that it's kind of obsolete or on the way out now, but it's Wish of Pentacles is its name, Wish of Pentacles. And I illustrated it a bit too here, and I'll have videos, more videos about my books and creative process and stuff. But mainly I want to focus on the lap desk because I needed so much a comfortable place to sit and write the sequel to Wish of Pentacles. And this is what I've got. It's just a composition book. It's called Little Miss Wilma Shirley, Wish of Pentacles, Book 2. And I have new illustrations that are going to go in here. I drew these on the computer and they're actually in color, so I think I'm going to make this version a color version, but you can see all my scribbles and it's just written out. The only time I write in cursive is when I'm doing something like this. Any other time, if you're a pen pal of mine, you've never seen my cursive writing unless I've written you a check. I use, my signature is obviously cursive, and my manuscripts are in cursive. I don't know why, it just sort of flows out. I suppose it's just faster. It's just the flow of the flow of the flow. So, yeah, this is the sequel to Wish of Pentacles. Is set about 20 years later, which is present day. So hopefully it won't take me another 20 years to get this one out. But that's okay. So now I have a real proper comfortable place to sit and write. I've got an itty bitty book light even, but I can just sit here. I've been wanting so much to be able to do this. Because it's not terribly comfortable to sit at a desk. But I love to just, go along in the notebook and sort out who's doing what. And this is also my storyline. I've got 2 different storylines going on. It alternates chapters, so I had it I printed, this is chapters, 3, 1, 3, and 5, no, 3 and, maybe it's just chapter 3. Well, anyway, the odd number chapters are one group of characters and the even number chapters are another group of characters, and in the first chapter they're all together, and probably in the final chapter they'll all come back together again. So I thought it would help if I printed out the storylines separately as opposed to mingled together, just so I can say Now where did I leave off? Okay. This is of course also entered into the computer. So my writing process is sit comfortably at my lap desk. Yay! With my 4-color pen. Yay! And scribble for a while until I'm done with ideas for the time being. I may, if I get more ideas later on in the day, I'll come back and add some more. And then maybe that night I'll type them into the computer. Of course, everything has gotten foobarred because of the holidays, and I think my last, when did I type this? The last typing session was November 5th, and this is 2 days before Christmas, so probably, I would say, from Christmas on, I'll be able to get back to this. But this needs to live right in here. Not a bad fix. Pen. Now watch me forget where I put it, and I go to write, and it's like, oh no! Okay, look, it's in here. Hey, dummy, when you watch this video, this is where you put it. Okay, okay? See? No, don't forget. Sometimes I just leave myself notes on things. Or if I have been keeping something in a certain place for a long period of time, but I find a better place for it, will put a note on the old location saying, you move this too, because I'll have such a strong mental image of, oh, this is really not in a very logical place. I should move it. But even though it's not a logical place, that's where I saw it last. And every time I see it, I'll pick it up and think, this really isn't a very good place. But I never move it. So when I do finally move it, then I have to leave myself a note saying, okay, now it's in the logical spot. Otherwise, it's lost. Oh, no. Yeah, what you were wondering what I was holding, maybe what this flower thing was. I'm holding so this is like a little sneak preview, but yeah, this will be one of my day planner videos. This is a little divider I'm trying to put together, and I almost got all the flowers lined up properly when the tornado siren went. So I've been kind of discombobulated today because of the weather, but I can almost finish this. But I bought this tape yesterday. This is the first time I've tried decorative tape. I've seen a lot of all your guys' videos with your journals and everything, and the washi tape. I am very limited to where I can shop because I don't drive, so I go down to the curb store, as they call it around here, and didn't think they'd have any, but they did. They had a fairly good supply. It's not washi, it's artskills.com. Oh, maybe I can buy from them online. That'll save me. Boy, I'd be lost without my computer. So anyway, I'm just trying to wrap this around. I have the front part of my planner is kind of unattractive, and I was going to just put this in. It's a three-ring binder, and I thought this would be pretty. I'm going to put some Post-its on it or something like that. I forget what they call it. There's a name that they use these as. So I got these couple little spots, just one edge here. Ah! Then I have to get a hole punch and line it up. And hopefully it should be really pretty. It's interesting, it's a blue notebook. The cover is blue, but you open it up and inside it's black paper, so this will be very pretty. Anyway, so enough of my yakking. I gotta finish this up and edit out all the rough bits, and can't see a darn thing, so I hope I'm in frame and not looking too scary. And thanks for watching, guys, and I hope I'll make some new planner, crafty, scrappy, inky pen fetish people, friends in the next year. Have a happy new year if I don't get to you before then. I think I'm gonna have my baked potato now.